Over the past few decades, parenting has become more child-centric. We've made our children's feelings and needs the highest priority, directly or indirectly asking them, how do you feel? What do you like? What do you enjoy? What do you prefer? And while this approach comes from love, we rarely stop to ask a very important question. What if this is actually making our children more anxious? In this video, I want to show you why teaching our children that they are not in the center is one of the most powerful ways to support their mental health. I'll explain how shifting the focus from constant self-attention reduces anxiety, builds inner strength, and creates a deeper sense of confidence and connection. And at the end, I'll give you a list of practical ways that you can start implementing this approach in your family life today. My name is Efrat Amira. I'm a mom of 3 boys, ages 4, 7, and 12. I'm a parenting coach, and I'm passionate about supporting parents who want to lead with calm authority in their home in order to raise children with character, courage, and purpose in their life. If you enjoy this content, please press the like button below so others can find it as well. Now let's dive in. So as I've said, in the past few decades, we have become a very child-centric society, and that translates into the way that we parent our children. There is a deep philosophical root for this that comes from the thought that children are born inherently good and perfect, and that society corrupts them. If you want to dive deeper into this idea, you can check out another video where I talk about how to guide your children's behavior. You can find the link up here. But this approach made us constantly ask how our children are feeling, what they like, what they don't like, what they approve of, what they don't approve of, what is their preferences. And the thing is that not only that this approach puts so much pressure on our children, who basically what they need to do as children is just play and be in their life without making big life decisions or big decisions about who they are and how they feel in every single moment. It goes even deeper than that, because the more that we put focus on our children's wants and needs and feelings, the more we make them think about themselves. When I think too much about myself and I'm starting to be obsessed of how I feel, what I like, what I don't like, what I prefer, and I put too much emphasis on these thoughts, negative thoughts and negative feelings tend to creep into our minds. So for example, while I'm filming this video right now for you, if I'm thinking, what will people think about me? How do I look? Do people like what I'm saying? Do people approve of what I'm saying? If I'm constantly thinking those thoughts, it's gonna make me just shut down the video right now and stop recording. But on the other hand, if I'm shifting my focus to something else and I'm starting to think about how am I here to serve people? What can I teach people to help them in their life? What is important for me? How can I be in service to other people? Once I start focusing on these types of thought, I will feel much better and I will stop focusing on myself and do the thing that I'm here to do, which is serve people and teach people what I think is important for them to know. Exactly the same goes for our children. If we constantly ask them, how do they feel? What do they like? What do they need? Then they start to focus too much on themselves, and that makes them very self-conscious. Once you're thinking too much about yourself, as I said, those negative thoughts start to creep in. And after those negative thoughts, follow the negative feelings. And before you know it, you're in a mental health spiral. And as all parents know, children get very emotional. It's very easy for them to be swept away by negative feelings if they don't get what they want, if they don't have the patience to wait for something, if they're feeling jealous of a sibling. It's very easy for children to be swept away by their feelings. So if we start to focus too much on these feelings, we basically keep them stuck on where they are. What should we do instead? We need to start helping our children shift their focus elsewhere. Instead of thinking, I want this right now, think of what can I give to another person right now. Instead of thinking, I feel so jealous, think about how I can help right now in this situation. Instead of thinking, this is so hard, I can't wait, think about what can I do to make me feel more patient right now. So we want to help our children move forward. We don't want to keep them stuck in their emotions, but we want to help them elevate from those emotions by implementing a more beneficial thought in their mind. And from that beneficial thought, they will start feeling better. Because if they did something to help them feel more patient, then they are focusing their attention on something else and they're starting to feel more patient. If they're focusing their attention on giving something to somebody that wants it, then they will feel proud of themselves because they did something good for another person. If we help them focus on what they can do to help us right now, then we get them active and doing some kind of activity that makes them feel that natural gratification of doing something that is a little bit challenging for them. So we are giving them a gift. So instead of dwelling on those emotions, we're helping them elevate from them. When we do that, they become more resilient, more mentally healthy. They discover their inner strength and they reveal their potential. So what are the practical steps that you can take today in order to shift your focus from a child-centric approach into showing your children that they are not in the center? You can do this in a few ways. You can start by telling stories about people who were givers, people who did things for society, people who sacrificed their life for others. The second thing that you can do is you can encourage them to share their toys, share their food, just share with others and get them that natural good feeling that comes from giving others. The third thing that you can do is to encourage them to help others. Help a child that is having a hard time at school. Help you taking the groceries from the car to the house. Help by setting the table. Encourage them to help in order to get that sense of deep gratification that comes when you're doing something to help another person. And the fourth thing that you can do is you can focus their thoughts on what they have, not what they're lacking. Focus their thought on how amazing it is that you have this house, that you have a roof over your head, that you have this healthy food in your house, that he has all these toys, that he has friends, that he has family that loves him. Each person can find something that they can be grateful for in their life. And when we are grateful for the things that we have, we stop thinking about the lack. We stop thinking about what we don't have and what we want, and start focusing on what we do have and how lucky we are in our life. All these practices are going to help your children remove themselves from the center. And when we remove ourselves from the center, we become more mentally healthy. We become more strong as people. We gain self-esteem and we realize our resilience. So share with me in the comments below, what is one thing you can do in your home today in order to implement this way of thinking of I am not in the center, but I am part of a whole. And I'm here to give and not to take. If you want to dive deeper and learn about the root causes of anxiety and depression, check out the next video right here.